To schedule a class, you will go to Setup. On the left panel, make sure on the Classes tab, locate the class that you want to add a schedule for. In this case, I will choose Strength and Conditioning. We have two ways that we can manage the schedule. One is under Classes Scheduled, where you see the Add button. I can go Add a Class Schedule, or I can also click on the actual class type. And once I'm under the settings, we'll have an option to Manage Schedule. Both buttons will bring us to the same place to manage and add a schedule for this class. Once the page is loaded, I'll now have an option to add scheduled sessions. So we'll click on that, and this page will come up. So from here, it'll bring us through steps 1 all the way through 4. Now, there may be 5 steps if in the class type we have indicated that this service requires an asset. In this case, I did not set up an asset is required, hence we only have 4 uh, steps here. So step 1, if it is a multi-location, we do have to first of all state which location this class is being held in. If it's a single location, you will not have this option. So we'll just go ahead and select location A for now. We'll go next on the bottom right. When does the class take place? So from here, we're going to go ahead and set the schedule. So we do have a start and end date. We can also leave it as an ongoing schedule so that there will be no end date. If you do want to put in an end date because maybe the business schedule is month to month, we can then turn off the ongoing and input an end date. In this case, I'm going to leave it as an ongoing schedule. Moving down, we can set up the start time. So for example, maybe this strength and conditioning starts at 5:30 p.m. So I'll set up the 5 o'clock and on the half hour. So 5:30, and make sure you change AM or PM here. Next, we do have the price. Now, on the class type, if you already set up the individual cost per session, it would have translated the cost over here for you. If we had set it up to say that they are not able to buy a single session and they have to purchase a purchase option, the default that'll come over is $20. In this case, if you selected the second option, we don't really need to care about this drop in price because when clients book it online, they will not be able to see the drop in price because we indicated they can only buy a purchase option. In that case, we can leave it as it is. Coming down, the duration of the class. Let's say it starts at 5:30, it runs for an hour. I can go ahead and set it up as 1 hour. The minutes are on the right-hand side if it runs anything longer in minute increments. Room is just the field that you can type in. So maybe sometimes people do hold it in maybe different locations, but they didn't actually set up different locations in the system. They can maybe type in, let's say, it's in Studio B, right? Or maybe it's, 123 Bleecker Street. So they can go ahead and utilize this as a manual field to type in where this takes place. Coming down, days of the week. This class, let's say, happens on every Tuesday and Thursday at the 5:30 p.m. I can tell the system that it repeats every Tuesday and Thursday and how often it repeats. So whether it's once every week, we have different increments, weeks, months, and year. So for this, I'm going to say that it happens every 5:30 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm going to go next. And then in this step, we do have the ability to alter the capacity. So like we mentioned in the topic there, if we want to say, hey, maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays, usually we do accept 10 people, but on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we do have a little bit of a bigger studio. And maybe on those 2 days, we can accept 15 people. I can change the capacity for just a Tuesdays and Thursdays class. Okay. These two will only show up if you're using the ClassPass integration or GymPass integration, which we will learn a little bit later. Coming down, which instructor teaches the Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30? In this case, let's say Carrie is teaching it, and then the pay rates, if we want to set up a pay rate for it. So I can say they get the class rates here. Okay. Next. And then last but not least, we have the special instructions. If you've already inputted special instructions on the original class type, you do not need to input it here again. I know that it shows empty here right now, even though we did have special instructions. What's going to happen is once I go ahead and click on complete, it's going to bring over the original special instructions from the class type over to these classes. You would only use a special instruction, maybe it's something specific just to the Tuesday and Thursday sessions, then maybe you want to put something in here that maybe wasn't included in the class type special instructions. So once this is all done, we can go ahead and complete this. And once that's done, we will now see starting from September 9th today, no end date because we made it as ongoing, repeats Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 to 6:30. Again, the price would only be a drop-in if we allowed for it to be a drop-in. Location is at Carrie's Test Studio A. The staff that's teaching this is Carrie, and this class repeats once every week. And that's it. We've scheduled a class. If let's say this class happens maybe on a Monday and a Wednesday at different times with different instructors, you can simply add additional schedule sessions on the bottom here.